Everyone admits that if there really is design in the universe, then there has to be a designer. The question then is, can we find design in the universe? As we look at the workings of our world, we start to realize that things are very intricately put together. The universe is a massive machine that seems to work, well, we would almost say like clockwork, except it's much better than any clock that we've ever seen working. For instance, if you were to look at the tiny parts of the universe that fit together perfectly, that allow things to go on that we see today, like human life and organisms that are alive and plants and animals, you would see that some of them are so finely tuned that they couldn't be any different in order for life to exist. For instance, the ratio of an electron to a proton, it's 1 to 1,836. Do you know if you adjusted the electron charge by just one part in 1 billion, then our bodies would explode and there's no way that humans could live? How is it that it's just perfect that the electron ratio and the proton ratio is ideal for the human body to thrive? That's just one example of literally hundreds that we could show. One cosmologist said that the life in this universe is balanced on a razor's edge. According to atheistic physicist Paul Davies, he said, our universe seems to be just right for life. It looks as if a super intellect has been monkeying with the physics. What did he mean a super intellect has been monkeying with the physics? Now, he's not claiming that he believes in God, but he's saying, I'm looking at the universe and it looks like the universe is perfectly set up for humans to live on planet Earth. And as you look at all of the things about the atmosphere of planet Earth, the composition of the gases in the atmosphere that surround our planet, the various and numerous things that have to be just exactly right, scientists have come up with the idea of a Goldilocks zone. Goldilocks, you remember the character, she said that the porridge that Daddy Bear had was too hot and the porridge that Mama Bear had was too cold, but Baby Bear's porridge was just right. And then the chair of Baby Bear was just right, and the bed of Baby Bear was just right. That fine-tuning, that Goldilocks idea is that this universe is just right. And then if we were to focus the microscope down from a universal cosmic picture to a picture of things on Earth, you see something like a human hand. And you see how doctors try to mimic a human hand when they make prosthetics. In fact, they've come a long way. Doctors have been able to create prosthetic limbs that they can attach to a person's shoulder, and they can take literally the nerves out of the person's shoulder and hook them to the motors in the prosthetic limb. And the person can literally think about moving the fingers of the prosthesis, and they can move those fingers. You think about all the man hours and woman hours that went into the process of designing that prosthesis. You think about all the millions of dollars that are behind that technology, and then you ask a simple question. Was that prosthesis designed? Well, of course it was designed. It was designed by brilliant people, and then you compare it to a human hand. A human hand that we are told from people who do not believe in God didn't have a designer, came along by accident, was a product of blind, random chance processes over multiplied millions of years, and yet that human hand is superior to that prosthetic limb. That human hand has self-healing properties. That human hand is better designed than anything that human scientists have ever conceived. How is that? Well, the fact of the matter is we see design in the human hand. We see design in the hummingbird and the way that it can flap its wings almost 200 times per second. We see design in a common housefly that can land upside down. And when scientists try to mimic the capabilities of a human housefly, they can't even create a robot that will be able to do it, regardless of how much money they pour into the system. What are we seeing? Design all over the world, from the cosmic, universal level down to the minutest, simplest thing like a housefly, or even all the way down to a string or strand of DNA. And that strand of DNA being a coded language. Any language has a designer and intelligent person that puts that language together, and DNA is definitely a language. Well, so what's the conclusion here? Well-known skeptic Michael Shermer conceded. He said, the reason people think that a designer created the world is because it looks designed. He's exactly right. It does look designed. Not only does it look designed, but as we get further into this world and see all the intricate design that humans cannot even mimic when they see it, we realize that not only does it look designed, but it is designed. The evidence is overwhelming that there is design in the universe. If there is design, then there had to be a designer. As the writer so aptly noted almost 2,000 years ago, for every house is built by someone, but he who built all things is God. Design demands a designer.